Happy New Year! This is Chuck Ridgway, Automation Technology Manager at Horner, and thanks for joining us for our first live stream of 2023. We're going to try and have some fun here today. We're going to take a look back at 2022 a little bit. We're going to see some bloopers and outtakes, which should be fun and a little bit humiliating, to be honest. And we've got a special guest that will be joining us. We think you'll enjoy that as well. So here's our topic for today, the 2022 year in review. Well, I hope you and yours have had a successful 2022. It certainly has been a great year, or was a great year at Horner. We had a record sales year, which is always a great thing. So as I mentioned, we're going to have some fun today looking back at 2022, and here is the agenda. We're going to take a look at the year that was 2022 from a product release standpoint. We're going to talk a little bit about training. It was a get back to normal year for training in 2022. And then, of course, we're going to take a quick look at the videos that we produced, specifically the live streams, which ones were most popular. We'll talk about some of the remote live content that we brought you last year, which was different than previous years. We went on the road a bit, okay, and did some things in the field, brought you some contents from the field. That was a lot of fun, so we'll review that a little bit with some behind-the-scenes stuff. And as I mentioned earlier, there will be some bloopers and outtakes that we'll review as well. Okay, so to kind of kick things off, Emily in our marketing department, she put this little video together that kind of takes a look back at 2022 and gives you some behind-the-scenes footage from the factory. So let's take a look at that video from Emily right now. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Hello. This is Chuck Ridgway, Automation Technology Manager at Horner. Thank you for joining us for another Tuesday live stream. All right, great job, Emily. Thank you for that. All right, so next, let's take a look at our product releases from 2022. And there were a lot of challenges with trying to release new products in the environment that was last year. Specifically, component shortages of all kinds really made things difficult, especially when it came to Ethernet chips. And then we also had some issues with chips with our 15-inch units as well. So that's been a big challenge that really is still ongoing. There's also been a big backlog at UL, which has really put a lot of, I guess you could say, ground things to a halt to a certain extent with some products when it comes to UL. But that is improving, although it's still a major issue. But despite all these challenges, we did release several new products, and let's take a look at those now. So one of the big new releases was the XL Prime series. So that ended up being 6 new models from the X5 all the way through to the XL10 Prime versions of these products, that is. Now, one of the products we weren't able to get out this year in the Prime series was the 15-inch unit. And that was delayed by those chip issues I was just talking about. But all in all, getting all these models available was definitely an accomplishment. Now, what's the big deal about XL Prime, you may say? Well, the XL Prime offers a faster CPU than we've offered before in our XL series. It uses FRAM for variable storage. That means a more modern approach for storing variables without a need for batteries. That's a big deal. It also has a larger and faster chip for doing things like high-speed counting. And it has absolutely no dependence on batteries for either program retention or variable retention. And that's a big deal because batteries can be a limiting factor, especially environmentally, when you're talking about an OCS. And another big deal about the XL Prime is it's an easy upgrade for XL series users. Now we've got a short little product video on XL Prime that I'm going to show you now. Let's take a look at that.
The brand new XL Prime family of all-in-one controllers packages new speed and memory capabilities into the same familiar package as the popular XL series. New and existing OCS users can take advantage of a more advanced processor and modern memory architecture while enjoying up to a 50% performance increase and 100% non-volatile memory with just a coin cell battery for the real-time clock. Check out HornerAutomation.com for more information or to locate a distributor near you.
All right, once again, good work by the marketing team. The other big product release in 2022 was OCS I/O. So this is a new family of expansion and remote I/O that is really designed to complement any of our Horner all-in-one controller series. So whether you're talking about our entry-level micro OCS, or whether you're talking about currently our highest level product, which is the new XL Prime, the OCS I/O can really complement any of those products that are available from Horner. Now, this is a ground-up design. Now, we did incorporate an off-the-shelf mechanical package, so we didn't design any new plastic, but all the electronics, all the circuit boards, all the design, all the firmware, that's all 100% Horner designed. And it's currently manufactured in our factory here in Indianapolis. So that's exciting as well. What are some of the big deals about OCS I/O? Well, let's start with the I/O base. We call it a CNX base. It's based on C-SCAN protocol, so it is a CAN-based expansion approach. It features LED indication, of course, also a backplane connector that allows you to add up to 8 total modules in a stack. And it's got some innovative built-in I/O, 6 I/O points, 2 of which are what we call flexible inputs, which allow you to choose between either digital inputs or analog inputs for those 2 points. And if you choose digital, you can choose the voltage range. If you choose analog, you can choose 4 to 20 milliamp or 0 to 10 volts. And each point of those 2 flexible inputs can be configured individually. You also get a couple of pretty beefy DC outputs up to 2 amps each, a 16-bit universal analog input, and a 12-bit universal analog output. So that flexible I/O, along with the rest of the total of 6 I/O points, is pretty impressive. Another thing that's nice about OCS I/O is it uses off-the-shelf patch cables for plug-and-play cabling inside the control cabinet. So there's no need to utilize special CAN cabling inside the control cabinet. You can just use what look like standard Ethernet cables. They're really just patch cables that you can use to connect between your OCS and your OCS I/O bases and interconnect any multiple OCS I/O bases. Now, if you've got a really small system, maybe based on a micro OCS or something, you might just want to add a single CNX module to give you those 6 flexible I/O points. That might be just what you need to complete your system. If you've got a large system, you can add up to 16 bases with up to 8 modules total in each one of those for a pretty large system as well. So we've also got a short video that talks about or introduces the OCS I/O that our marketing team put together. Let's show that to you now.
The Horner Automation OCS I/O Remote I/O platform packs a lot of flexibility, capability, and expandability in a small package that makes it the perfect complementary C-SCAN solution for OCS platforms. You can start right with a mix of digital and analog I/O right on the CNX 116 base and expand up to 7 additional modules. Whether it's a little or a lot, OCS I/O configuration is meant to be simple and effortless while handling almost any amount of I/O need. Check out HornerAutomation.com for more information or to locate a distributor near you.
Okay, fine job, marketing team. All right, the next topic I want to take a look at from 2022 is training. In 2022, it was really a get back to normal year. The further we get away from the pandemic, the more back to normal things are, especially for things like factory training. And specifically, that's what I'm talking about here is factory training. And last year, we had the full schedule of quarterly basic classes as well as quarterly advanced classes. And if you haven't participated in Horner training at any point in your career, I would highly encourage you to do so. Even if you've used Horner for a while, there's definitely something to learn in one or both of these courses that you can use in your Horner-based projects. This is the point in the program where I'm going to bring in our special guest that I was talking about, and let's do that now. All right, Mr. Nate Beachy. Happy New Year, Nate.
Happy New Year, Chuck. How you doing?
I'm doing terrific. Okay, let's take a look at training from 2022. Now, you have a big hand in all of our training courses, especially the basic courses. How do you think that went last year?
I think it went just fine for the most part. The ones here in the office went great, pretty much business as usual for the most part. And then I actually had one on the road up in our office in Calgary at the end of November that also went fine. It was an advanced class for a group of people that they had up there.
Now, in addition to having our full slate of classes last year, did we do anything differently in 2022 than we may have done in earlier years?
Well, at the end of 2021, I did rewrite the basic training manual to include reference to our variable-based advanced ladder logic, which, in my opinion, is a much easier way to teach people that aren't familiar with ladder logic how to do it. We've made enough changes and improvements in it in the last couple of years that it's become my personal favorite way of programming a new program for OCS, including big complex ones. So that's certainly, I think, something that's worth checking out if you're looking into programming one of our products for sure.
Absolutely. We put a lot of emphasis on variable-based advanced ladder on this program or on this channel for the last couple of years. There's just some things you can do in a variable-based environment you just can't do in a register-based environment, things like user-defined function blocks and structures and those sorts of things. Now, another thing that's going to be new in 2023 that I'm working on right now is our first US-based IEC 61131 training course. So we've done these in our European location for years, and we've had several distributors in the US who've done training on Seascape's IEC 61131 option, but we haven't actually done a factory course until 2023, and we'll be doing that this summer. So I would encourage customers to sign up for that as well. Have you had a chance to work much with our IEC 61131 option?
Not a whole lot. I've written one program recently in IEC. It wasn't very complex, but I do like it. And along with the variable-based advanced ladder logic, it works the same way in most of those regards as far as variables go, as opposed to registers. And I do like the availability of the separate languages that you can then write this part in structured text and write that part in function block or whatever, and then kind of put them all together with a mix of different programming languages, depending on which one's easier for the task at hand for that particular part. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the big advantage for IEC, in addition to the fact that because it's a standard, there is a pretty good understanding for those familiar with IEC from manufacturer to manufacturer. Okay, terrific. Well, thank you, Nate. I'm going to bring you back in a little bit later for the personal humiliation portion of the program. So buckle up. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next part of our program. And next, we're going to talk about live streams. What did we produce in 2022? Not only how many, but what were the topics? Which ones were the most popular? That sort of thing. We did produce a full 52 live streams last year. So that's one per week. We were able to do one more than we had done in 2021, thanks to the fact that the 1 week I wasn't able to do anything, Casey Gardner stepped in and got that 50-second video produced for us. So we had a perfect year in terms of a live stream every week in 2022. Now, in terms of the type of content that we produced, I divided those up into about 6 different categories here, and we'll take a look at those. So of the 52 videos, 11 of those were what I would consider kind of general Horner videos on different topics that don't really fit into another category. We had 11 videos that were geared around variable-based programming. Again, we're putting a lot of emphasis on that this year and in previous years, and it's really starting to show in terms of the popularity of the variable-based option in Cscape. Now, communications have always been a huge hit here on the Livestream Horner channel because people want to learn about them. They're fairly complex topics and people want to learn. We've got several Cscape programming topics that were very popular. And this year, we did a lot with I/O. We had the release of the OCS I/O family. That and some other reasons caused us to do several I/O videos, and those were very popular. And then, as I mentioned in my intro, we did some live events this year that also contributed to our 52 live streams. And if you take a look at that pie chart there, which is the popularity by category by views, you'll notice that it's pretty evenly split in terms of the popularity of the different types of videos that we produce. Of course, there were only a few of the live events, and those weren't quite as popular, but that's understandable. With some of the other topics, it makes a lot of sense to go back and revisit those particular topics whenever you're working on a particular task that's covered in one of our live streams. So anyway, that's to take a look at the popularity in general. Now let's take a look at, I would say, the top 5 videos that we produced last year. Okay, and we'll count those down from number 5. So the number 5 video in popularity last year was one we did on creating and editing tag-based variables in Cscape. So that one got 340 views, which was really pretty good. And again, that's one of our tag-based videos that we produced or geared around variable-based programming, and several of those videos were popular. At number 4, we had a video that I was very happy to see has been well received, and that's one of our I/O videos. And that was one that we did on the various tips and tricks involved in using the built-in I/O in the micro OCS family. So everything from some tricks on using the removable terminal blocks to integrating AC I/O and a variety of other tips and tricks, what size ferrules to use. We covered that in that video. So if you're a micro OCS user, I'd suggest that you take a look at that video for sure. That was our number 4 video this year. At number 3, we have a video that became very popular in part because of the fact that acquiring remote I/O in industrial automation in 2022 was a real challenge. So people were looking at getting creative in using maybe non-traditional products as remote I/O. And one of the things that people really embraced was using the XLE as a remote I/O block. So it's got anywhere from 22 to 42 I/O points built into a nice compact package you can put on the DIN rail. And not only did this video clock in at number 3, we also had the number 7 video was another XLE remote I/O based video in using the XLE on Ethernet IP as remote I/O. And that had nearly 300 views as well. So between those two things, using the XLE as remote I/O got like 600 and some odd views, which is pretty impressive. Shows just how creative people were needing to be to get remote I/O available in 2022. Our number 2 video for the year was another I/O based video, and that one was our hands-on look at using Smart Rail I/O with Cscan. We didn't cover the Ethernet variation of Smart Rail. We'll do that early in 2023, but this, as the number 2 video, came in at 374 views. And then finally, our number 1 video for the year, always very popular, is communications related videos. And this is one we did only back in the summer. So it's only had 6 months to crank up the views. And that was the video we did comparing Ethernet IP and Modbus TCP, which are 2 of the more popular industrial Ethernet networks, and also to compare those with Ethernet Global Data, which is a very capable industrial network that a lot of people aren't familiar with. So that's been a very popular video as well. As a matter of fact, our number 1 video for 2022. So next, let's talk a little bit about some of the events that we did from the field. We didn't just produce everything out of the studio. This year, we went into the field, and as I traveled to 3 different trade shows: Automate in Detroit, Hanover Messa in Chicago, and WEFTech, which is a water industry show in New Orleans. We spent plenty of time taking footage. We even did a fully live show from the Hanover show in Chicago. But these videos were well received, and the goal with these is really about showing you what's new in the industry as well as what's new from Horner at these particular trade shows. So I would say these were very successful live streams, and we'll be bringing you a few more of these as we travel into the field in 2023. All right, now we're going to go behind the scenes a little bit in regards to the work that we did at the Hanover show, because at Hanover we did something we'd never done before, and that is we effectively streamed our live show from the show floor. We utilized a cellular modem so that we could get the bandwidth we need to be able to stream to the internet, and that worked surprisingly well. And we also built a custom streaming rig that we could take with us to the trade show floor that we could use for streaming the live stream. It uses a lot of the same equipment that we use in the studio, but we took it and we packaged it in such a way that we could use it on the road. So let's take a look at this little behind the scenes look at our streaming rig that we used in Chicago, for those of you who are techies out there who are often curious about how we produce these particular streaming shows. Okay, we're going to do a little behind the scenes here, and I'm going to show you the live streaming rig that we brought along to the show so we could do our live stream on Monday directly from the booth. And we've also used it for recording segments and those sort of things during the show. So it's been pretty useful. And this is where Marcy sat to go ahead and press the buttons and do all the camera switching and source switching during Monday's show. So basically this is a portable rack. It's a 12U, so it's not real tall. The heart of the system is this ATEM from Blackmagic. Can have up to 8 camera inputs or any kind of video inputs, really. Handles all the switching, handles all the graphics, streams directly to YouTube or Big Marker. So it's pretty darn convenient for sure. Although, as you can see, it's a little bit complicated. And it's also got a gazillion buttons. So one of the things to make things a lot simpler for Marcy and for me when I'm running the live stream is this Stream Deck. So this is a handy piece of gear that allows you to set up custom macros so that you can handle the switching from here with some predefined buttons instead of having to do it all from the ATEM. So that's pretty awesome. In addition to, of course, the ATEM, we've also got a couple different computers we're using here. So we have this Intel NUC, which is an awesome little PC that I use for Seascape and for anything else that I need to demonstrate on the PC side of things. I have this Mac Mini. It's one of those new M1 Mac Minis. I'm using that for a variety of things. One of the things it's being used for is for any slides that we show are going to be shown from the Mac Mini. Okay, so a couple different computers there. Down here, we also have a couple of Raspberry Pis that we're using. One Raspberry Pi specifically we're using to play any videos that we want to play, like our intro or our outro or any pre-recorded videos for demonstrations and things that we might want to show during the show. Now, all these different components run on different voltages. So one thing I've done, and you can't see that here, it's in this top shelf that's kind of buried, is we have 3 different power supplies in there. We've got a 12-volt power supply. That's used to run the monitor up here, as well as the ATEM. We've got a 19-volt power supply to run the NUC. It actually is a 19-volt booster. Takes the 12 volts from the 12-volt power supply, boosts it to 19 volts. And then the Raspberry Pis, they run off 5 volts. So we've got a beefy 5-volt supply in there as well. And then the Mac just runs off AC, so it's plugged directly into an outlet. So that works out pretty good because, again, we don't have all those wall warts that are going to fall out or be a mess to deal with. Now, because we have 3 different computers we're talking about, the NUC, the Mac, and the Raspberry Pi, I've got this special keyboard and mouse that can handle 3 different computer setups all at once. So just by pressing a button, I can select which Bluetooth connection I'm going to make, whether it's with the PC, the Mac, or the Raspberry Pi. So that's pretty cool as well. So that's what it looks like from the front here. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you on the back is this cell modem that we use. It's actually a cellular router. I believe we did a recent live stream on integrating a cellular router with OCS, so we decided to go ahead and use that cellular router with our live stream setup. It's pretty awesome. I mean, where we're located in the booth with AT&T SIM, we were able to get 20 megabit up and 20 megabit down, which is plenty for live streaming, of course, and that's pretty cool. So again, that was the modem that we went ahead and used, cell modem that we used for live streaming. And then on the back here, you can see the setup we have mechanically for the monitor that we can use. Of course, that monitor is what we're going to use so that Marcy or whoever's running the show can see all the different sources and make sure the microphones are working properly and all those sorts of things. Okay, next we're going to turn our attention to the back of the rack, because the back of the rack is pretty important, obviously, for the functionality. So we'll start with something simple. At the bottom here, we've got our AC switching. You can see these lighted switches. So one switch controls all those power supplies I talked about, the 5, 12, and 19 volt power supplies. So to turn everything off pretty much, we can just flip that first switch. The Mac Mini, switchable on its own because it's AC powered. So really only the first two of these are being actually used. But again, we have this nice AC switch here. Now on the top level, we have this, I guess I'll call it a patch panel for power. So this is where the 19 volts, 12 volts, and 5 volts all comes out to a variety of different barrel connectors or USB style connectors for 5 volts. So this is where we can individually connect power to each of the components. And if we need to power down an individual component, we can do that just by pulling its power cable and popping it back in. Everything's labeled. It's not quite as messy as it looks at first glance. So that's the power distribution panel. And then down here, a couple more slots, we have our source distribution panel. So that's where we can connect in all of our HDMI video sources, whether that's cameras or whatever the case may be. Those are all connected here on this patch panel. And then it also includes connections for the microphones. You can see this red cable here. That's where our wireless microphone receiver is actually connected right now. So that's what it looks like on the back of the rack. So hopefully you found this little exercise interesting as we took you behind the scenes to show you our live streaming rig that we brought with us for the Hanover Mesa show. Okay, so once again, I hope for you geeks out there, I know I'm a geek, you found that useful and interesting to see how we put the equipment together to allow us to do our remote live streams. I also put together a smaller rig, one that I could actually carry on airplane when I travel. And sometime in 2023, probably fairly early in the year, we'll do a little behind the scenes and show you how I put that rig together as well, so that we can do live streams from the road, not just from big trade shows. Okay, now the next thing I want to show you, or the next portion of our program, this is where I guess you could say Nate and I get to have our humble pie and let you kind of laugh along with us as you take a look at some of the outtakes and bloopers from all the video content that we've attempted to create for you during this year. So for this humiliation section, I'm going to go ahead and bring Nate back in. So Nate, there he is. Nice entrance.
Oh, thanks.
Very good.
Sound myself up here. Yep, there we go.
For a second, I thought maybe you were going to be a no-show for this portion of the show, but you're a good sport, so that's good to see.
Yes, thanks.
Okay, so, for anybody who's watched this channel over the last year or two, they've seen enough of my face, so they know that I primarily am producing the live shows. But Nate's pretty heavily involved in video stuff as well. But his are generally kind of pre-recorded and not put together live. So Nate, why don't you, first of all, what were maybe a video or two that you were involved in last year?
Well, it all started out with we were trying to put the training class into video format, and for various technical difficulty reasons, it didn't quite work out. And also, since Seascape 10 is right there on the horizon, I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of point in putting a bunch of effort into training videos on a software that was going to be old soon. So the other big one would be the OEE product that I made a bunch of instructional videos for on how to use it. This is what this menu does, this is how that function works, all that kind of stuff. So those are really the two things I was involved in video-wise. And yeah, for the most part, that was a whole lot of making a whole bunch of footage, some of which got used. Marcy did all the editing on that, but I tried to make it to where she didn't have tons of stuff that she had to weed through. She had hours of video to go through as it was without all the extra, making sure this and that is exactly right. So that's what I was doing video-wise, at least in 2022.
Very good. Now, I will say one thing that I'm going to disagree with you on. So even though Seascape 10 is right around the corner, people are going to be using 9.9 for a while, I'm sure. So we'll agree to disagree on that one. But anyway, all right. So with that bit of a preview, or at least a description of how Nate kind of chooses to do his videos or produce his videos, one thing I will say, because I've seen some of this before, Nate does like to have fun when he's putting the footage together for the marketing team to edit. So we're going to take a look at really just the first couple minutes of what is kind of a quasi-viral video that we have on our channel that's called, what is it called, Nate?
It's called Nate Unhinged.
I see. So here's a little preview of Nate Unhinged, and our viewers can kind of judge if they would agree that Nate's a little bit unhinged. Let's take a look.
Hello, I am Nate with Horner Solutions Group. I am here with a series of videos about our OEE solution. That didn't turn out nearly as hilarious as I had planned on. Hello, Marcy. I think my mic works now. So, here we go. That is not what I wanted to cut to. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right, Marcy, I'm doing another pan shot now with the light tower doing something. I thought that would be more interesting. So, here we go again. I don't know if I can think of a different song this time to sing in the background. Or remember which button I had to press. I need to get reused to this thing. Anyway, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what this song is. I think I just made it up. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. La 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 la. Let's go over the call interface. The call interface is available from the main. Well, that was all warm up. Take one. Action. Have a great day. Hi, I'm Nate. Harness Solutions Group. Yes, we have OEE. Would you like to see it?
Let me bring Nate back in here. Oh, I love that, Nate. You obviously are a man who has fun when he's making videos.
Yeah, well, an interesting little tidbit about that. When the lights turned off, I'm the guy that wrote the program for lighting in here, so it was kind of ironic that I was having a problem with the lighting.
Yeah, no one to blame but yourself on that one. And also, I can tell that in your youth, you were a Smurfs fan from part of that footage.
I think it's more of a musical thing. I never really actually watched the Smurfs, but for some reason that song popped into my head when I was doing that, so there it was.
I tell you. Okay, well, there's Nate's portion of the humiliation for the day, and now it's my turn in the barrel. Okay, so now whereas Nate works on a lot of pre-recorded videos, mine are kind of a mix. You know, of course, I have the live streams. Now, some weeks we stream fully live, so any mistakes I make are fully there for the world to see. Other weeks, you know, because of travel schedules or whatever the case is, I may pre-record a portion of it or the whole thing even. And in those scenarios, then I'll run into some outtakes because, you know, when you're pre-recording, you tend to get a little bit more, I guess, perfection oriented. Whereas when it's live, you just kind of let it roll. So you're going to see a mixture of different bloopers coming up. Now, one set of bloopers you're going to see is going to related to a promotional video that we did that I worked on with Emily in marketing. And this was a promotional video to promote a seminar we did at the Hanover Mesa Show in Chicago. So you're going to see a mixture of two different types of bloopers, but let me go ahead and show you the excerpt from that promotional video first. Hold on one second. It's called Alphabet Soup. Have you been charged with improving machine utilization or production efficiency? Does this alphabet soup of acronyms just make your head spin? Ugh, you're not the only one. So come to Chicago, September 14th to Hanover Mesa, USA. We're putting on a seminar that's going to help you decode this avalanche of acronyms so that you can pick out the ones that are going to help you meet your goals. You might even get promoted. That's justification right there. And if you're a machine builder or a system integrator, you can use your newfound knowledge to help your customers. You'll be a hero. Who doesn't want to be a hero? So come to Chicago. So that was a lot of fun to shoot. And Emily did a great job with all the special effects and everything. But it was a bit of a challenge because everything was in kind of one long shot. And there were a lot of words there. So what you're going to see is my bloopers, a combination of bloopers from pre-recorded videos and one from trying to make that promotional video. Let's take a look. Hello, this is Chuck Ridgway. And I forgot what my title is. 4-part series on the IEC. Gosh dang it. Today is the start of a 4-part series when we are going to introduce to you the 4. That's crap. Here in the US, we've been a little bit slow to adopt the 6. Programming languages. That sucks. But here in the States, we've been a little bit slow to add support, or at least to implement or adopt support for this lousy introduction. Crap. We've had a lot of implementation. Oh, this is just stupid. You're going off on a tangent. Now, here on this channel, we cover advanced ladder quite a bit, and that's not what I wanted to say. Thanks for joining us for another Tuesday live stream, which I didn't want to say. And today is part 3 in our 4-part series on the IEC 61131 programming languages. Little dinky. Hello, this is Chuck Ridgway. Within hours of posting the live stream, our recent live stream on IEC 61131 SFC program. Here's the follow-up question. What the heck? Oh, it's my chair. Okay. Let's get the chair behind me so it doesn't look like I'm blending into my chair. Oh, black's not going to work. Well, yeah, black will work. I'm joining you once again from the Convention Center floor. No, that's not good. Let's try it again. Today, we're going to take a deeper dive into the XL Prime series. All right, one more take, damn it. Hello, this is Chuck Ridgway, Automation Technology Manager at Horner.
Phil Horner.
And Phil Horner, who's photobombing me from the side. And today I'm trying really hard not to get photobombed by my boss, Mr. Phil Horner, who's here with us today, off camera, thank goodness. Trade show that take sucks. Yeah, finish that one crappy. Let's try it again. And see our seminar, which is going to help you decode this alphabet soup, which is the wrong line. We're putting on a seminar that's going to help you decode this alphabet soup. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Avalanche. There we go. We're putting on a seminar that's going to help you decode, damn it. The Hanover thing sucks. Too many lines. So come up over, damn. Too hard to say. Who doesn't want to get promoted? Damn it. All right, let's do it again. So come up to Chicago. Damn, that wasn't bad. Horner Automation. Damn it. Got all the way to the end and I screwed it up. Let's try it again. Horner Automation in booth 3. Not. Including Horner Automation. Just finish it there. Okay. Have you been tasked with improving machine utilization or overall production efficiency? This is I can do better than that. So come to Chicago, September 14th. We're putting on a seminar that I should have got it right. Let's try it again. Have you been, or if you're a system integrator and you want to take this newfound utilization, okay. And while you're there, visit all those fine exhibitors. And And while you're there, don't forget to visit all the fine. Damn it. And if you're a system integrator or maybe an OBM, blah, 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 blah. Damn it. And while you're there, don't forget to visit all the fine distributors, exhibitors. So you can find the ones that is going to help you, the ones that are going to. My English teacher would not be happy. Let's try this again. Have you been tasked with improving machine utilization, knucklehead? No, don't like that. You might even get promoted. All together? What the hell? What did I do? Me. What did I do? Drive me crazy. Take whatever. Take one. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oops, out a little bit so we don't have to be quite so tight. We're good looking, but we're not that good looking. And I'm here with...
I'm here too.
Yeah, I'm here with Phil Horner, our president and owner, who I'm going to interview later. That's never dull. Hello, I'm back here with Phil Horner. Let's do this again. Well, we'll have to do an outtake reel next time. All right, I'm here with Phil Horner, our president and general troublemaker for sure.
Hurry up, Chuck. There's a bar right across here that's open that we can get some drinks, so let's speed this thing along.
That's true. Well, that was a little bit humiliating. I didn't realize I used that many bad words when I was making mistakes making videos, but there you go. The proof is on the film. Next thing you know, they're going to want us to do another blooper film next year. That probably means more footage. I'm definitely not looking forward to that for sure. What do you think, Nate?
Yeah, and probably more blooper reels.
Thanks for being such a good sport, Nate. Take care.
Have a good one.
Okay, this is the part of the program where we remind you that we're here every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Whether we're streaming fully live like today or whether we pre-record and then stream live with people standing by to answer your questions. But either way, we've always got folks standing by to answer any questions you might have, whether that is from the chat section if you're watching live or from the comment section if you are watching on replay. Okay, I want to remind you that this is the 10th year anniversary of Horner Lighting. Congratulations to Horner Lighting, and don't forget that the Horner APG YouTube channel has both automation and lighting videos available. Now, rest assured, we will have a full slate of live streams in 2023, so visit our website for details on the content for January. Also, we'll be sending out, or Marcy will be sending out, our January newsletter in the next few days, which will announce all the different videos that are available. Well, if I haven't scared you off with all the bad words I used in my blooper reel, we'd really like you to subscribe to our channel. It doesn't cost anything, and if you choose to subscribe and choose notifications, you'll be notified every time we go live or every time we post a new video. And that was well over 150 videos this year, 52 of which were live streams. Okay, so until next week, let's all get out there and do some good. Meanwhile, I'm going to go wash out my mouth with soap. Have a good one, everybody.